have said that, but we're trying again. We're going over Genesis chapter 2. Sorry, my internet is just bad today. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's just bad. And so it just keeps cutting off. I'm still sick. I'm very, very sick at the moment. I always thought the third day was the worst day, but it's apparently not. But we're going over the third day of God's rest and the creation of man and woman. I don't know when it cut off, but I'm just going to read over again. It's really hot in this room. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them, and all on the seventh day God finished his work that he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all the work that he had done. So God blessed the seventh day and made it holy because on it God rested from all the work that he had done in creation. These are the generations of the heavens and the earth when they were created, and the day that the Lord made the earth and the heavens. When no bush of the field was yet in the land, and no small plant of the field had yet sprung up, for the Lord God had not caused it to rain on the land, and there was no man to work the grounds, and mist was going up from the land, and was watering the ground and breaking into his nostrils. When the Lord God formed the man of dust from the ground and breathed into his nostrils and breath of life, and the man became living creature. And the Lord God planted the Garden of Eden in the east, and there he put man whom he had formed. And he out of the ground the Lord God made a spring, midst of the garden, and tree of knowledge of good and evil. A river flowed out of Eden to water the garden, and there is a divide that becomes the four rivers. The name of the first is the Pison. It is the one of the flowers around the whole land of Havon, where there is gold. And the gold of the land is good. Oh, I don't even know how to say that. Bionts and onyx stones are there. The name of the second river is Gihon. It is the Excuse me. This is a nasty cold. Alright. And the name of the third river is the Tigris, which flows east of Assyria, and the fourth river is the Euphrates. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it, and every tree of the garden, but the tree of knowledge of good and evil, you shall not eat, for it in the day that you eat of it, you shall surely die. Oh my gosh. Then the Lord God said, It is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helper fit for him. Now out of the ground the Lord God had formed every beast of the field and every bird of the heavens, and brought them to the man to see what he would call them. And whenever the man called every living creature, that was its name. The man gave names to all the livestock, to the birds of the heavens, and to every beast of the field. But Adam, there was not fond of the helper fit for him. So the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man, and while he slept took one of his ribs, closed up its place with flesh, and the rib that the Lord God had taken from the man he made into woman and brought her to the man. Then the man said, This at last is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother, and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. And the man and his wife were both naked and were not ashamed. So there's a lot to break down in Genesis chapter 2. So much happens in Genesis chapter 2, and to think that it is only half a page, so much happens. It is God's, right here, God's resting. He's done his part, and that is when I believe in Jewish culture, Sabbath was created, or the idea of Sabbath was created. I could be wrong, but they rest. They take a rest, and they don't do anything but celebrate or do a feast. They rest. Because God, on the seventh day, he said, I'm going to rest. Now, the creation of man, I love when God is creating man and how apparently in Hebrew, it's more explained, more beautiful, because it's in the native tongue. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I've still got this cold. Excuse me. All right. The Lord God formed the man of dust from the ground, and he breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became living creature. So what I imagine when that happens is I imagine like a clay, you know how like people do clay pots? I imagine that God just made a clay version of a man and then breathed the breath of life into him, and Adam woke up. God gave man a helper. Apparently in Hebrew, when that is written, there's something better there. Helper was just the only English text. That's what it translated into, because we English don't have very good words. But right here, I didn't notice it till just now. But for Adam, there was not found a helper fit for him. Not found. But for Adam, there was not found a helper fit for him. So there's a myth in Jewish culture. There's this myth of Lilith. Lilith was the first woman. This is, of course, just a myth. But Lilith and Adam didn't see eye to eye because they were made the exact same way, from clay or from dirt and breath. There are some myths where it says that she was abusive, she hurt Adam. There's so many myths to it. There's so many takes on it too. But basically it was to explain that I got sick brain. When God didn't make her like Adam, it didn't change her mindset. While when he made Eve, my church always used to say when God made Eve from the rib, it stood for she is not ahead, she is nor behind Adam, she is equal to him. Same goes for Adam. Now with Lilith's case, she thought that she was just as good as him, or maybe better, because she was made the exact same way. There's a couple myths. I've never really listened to all of them because there are quite a few. But right there, that may be talking about the animals and Adam not being satisfied, because we as humans crave social environments. So it may just be talking about that. But I do find it interesting that it's put in there. Maybe talking about Lilith. I don't believe in Lilith. Excuse me. I don't think she's real, because in one story it says that she gave birth to a demonic baby. I do not think that she's real at all. I do think it was originally Adam and Eve, like always. But I do think that this does speak to that we as humans crave social interaction. Definitely. And I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. So yeah, I like Genesis chapter 2. I like the creation of man and woman, going over it. And then I also like about how just a few chapters, it goes over so much that is about to become of the world. So yeah. We are going to go over Genesis chapter 33 tomorrow. Genesis chapter 33 is one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites. So I'm excited. 33. I said 33. I'm sorry. I'm excited for that. Tomorrow's the blood moon. If you guys are in South America or America, oh my gosh, South America or North America, you can view it from anywhere. I think it'll be up for at least 65 minutes. I don't know when it starts though. Just something that kept showing up on my feed. So, if you guys want to watch it, go and watch it. I encourage you. Though, I think it'll be back. Gosh, that's disgusting. Sorry, not the blood moon. I think it'll be back in August. So if you miss it, it'll be back in August. So I encourage you guys to go watch that. I love solar events. They're so cool. Alright, well, that's what I'm going to leave it off with. As usual, what is your favorite Greek character? Greek myth character. It can be a god or creature. Gosh, I feel terrible. Alright, those of you who are doing Lent, I'm praying for you. You guys can make it through Lent. Keep trucking through. Praying for you. God bless. Sherry, my dear friends. And keep going, guys.